Good morning. This is your professor, Judy Paparosi, and I just reviewed a lot of your work in Quiz 8. Quiz 8 was teaching you how not to have a run-on sentence. And a run-on sentence doesn't mean that it runs on long. It means that you punctuated it incorrectly, and you've taken two complete sentences, and I'll explain that in a second, and you've joined them, those two complete sentences, with a comma only, which doesn't work. Wherever you see it, it's incorrect. So if you have two complete sentences, that is, the sentence has a subject, a verb, and expresses a complete thought. And you want to join it to a very closely related sentence that also has a subject, verb, and a complete thought expressed. You can't join those two sentences with a comma. It's not enough. You need to add a conjunction like and to the comma after the comma to correct it and make sure it is grammatically perfect. The other option is a semicolon. So a semicolon can take the place of the comma. The comma can't work by itself, and many of you kept making that mistake over and over again by joining two complete sentences with only a comma. For example, Professor Paparosi has a cold, comma, and she went to the doctor. You can't just say Professor Paparosi had a cold, comma, she went to the doctor, because they're two complete sentences. The first one that can stand on its own is Professor Paparosi has a cold, period. So if a period would work, you know that's a complete sentence. And it has a subject, Professor Paparosi, verb, has, and it expresses a complete thought. You know that I had a cold. I don't have a cold. The second part is she went to the doctor. That also is fine. She is the subject, went is the verb, and it expresses a complete thought that Professor Paparosi went to the doctor. But because they're so closely related, you want to join them together, you may. It just can't be by a comma alone. You would have to put a conjunction like and. Professor Paparosi has a cold, comma, and she went to the doctor. You could use a different one like therefore. A conjunction joins things together. Like when you do math and you 1 plus 1. The plus sign is the conjunction. It conjoins things. It puts things together. But you can't just have the comma stand there all by itself and think that that is grammatically correct, because it's not. So use a comma with a conjunction like and. Another one is but. How about this? Professor Paparosi has a cold, comma, but she decided not to go to the doctor, period. So I could use the but there to show that even the two sentences are related. She didn't do what she probably should have done, which I don't have a cold. Okay, I'm just kidding. Another one is for, F-O-R, since. I haven't seen you, comma. Oh, so I haven't seen you in a long time, comma, since we both went off to college. So comma and since make that a grammatically perfect sentence. As I mentioned before, the second way is to simply use the semicolon. Professor Paparosi has a cold, semicolon. That's the dot with a comma underneath it. She went to the doctor, period. That's it. Perfectly done, perfectly correct. And of course, you could always separate two complete sentences grammatically correctly by just putting a period and making them two separate sentences. But it's a good idea to learn how to join these sentences properly. So we can do it in two ways, with a comma and a conjunction, or by that beautiful punctuation mark, the semicolon. Thank you.